The moment everyone's been waiting for. Krampus has joined Heroscape. There's his figure. He's a big old demon goat who can bond with the other demon goat, Hollow which is kind of funny. There's his. Oh, I'm gonna have to read that. So he's from Feyland, the fairyland, the fairy tale land where the elves and other undead are from and whatnot. He's not undead, but anyway. So his basket says, after Krampus is destroyed, place the basket glyph on the space he occupied, if possible, or the closest empty space. When his glyph is on the battlefield, at the start of each player turn, that player may place a figure from their army that is on this card onto the battlefield, as close to this glyph as possible. If there are no figures remaining on this glyph, immediately destroy this glyph. This is the only way you can destroy the glyph. So he comes with this glyph, and we'll talk about how he puts people in the basket. But if he dies, you can come out of the basket slowly, and once it's empty, then it gets destroyed finally. Now that we know that, we'll go up to this card. He's a large 8, real big. He's a large beast. So Hollow can bond with him and Anshu, or him and Kita to take something, a glyph, or him and Ice Troll in all time. He has more fun that he can do now. Tormenting, it doesn't mean much. Demon doesn't really mean anything yet, other than customs. He has 6 life, 3 defense, so only lives a little longer than normal. But 4 attack with 6 move is nice. You can probably get an attack of 5 a lot of the time. Then he has his 2 abilities. Oh, and he's 90 points, so fairly average. Stats are fine for that, 90. And with bonding, that's always, makes it even more worth having. And the wizards do need help, so this is cool. But into the basket. Krampus starts the game with his basket glyph that we went over. After moving and before attacking, you may choose an enemy small or medium figure adjacent to him. Roll the 20 side. If the figure is common and you roll a 5 or higher, place that figure on your Krampus basket glyph card. If it's unique or uncommon, and you roll a 15 or higher, place that figure on your Krampus's basket glyph card. So you have like a 25% chance, well, 30% chance really, to throw anybody who's small or medium into his basket and take them off the battlefield so that they can't do whatever they're doing. Raylan can't give her passive ability to anybody. Gilbert, Alistair, Jeanne d'Arc, what else? Any kind of bonding hero, especially the common ones. I mean, this is going to be even not that you're going to beat an Ascenic army easily, but against Ascenics or Squirdiers, they got those common bug heroes. I think they're common. They might be uncommon, but I think they're common. But anyway, to get them or a squad figure, you only need a 5 or higher. That's an 80% chance to take someone off the board and then attack somebody else for 4 if they're still next to you. So Krampus is going to be scary and annoying, and a lot of people plan on stealing a really key figure and trying to retreat him back through their line of defense, so that you can never get those characters back, and then they can just take out the rest of your army. So if you see this guy coming at you, hide your key figures and attack the heck out of him until he's dead. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. Yeah, he's a beast though, so he can be large beast can be bonded with Holishot, the goat, floating goat, and then the what else was it? Beast, demon. I think that's all I was thinking of. But anyway, out of the basket though, there's something else there. After Krampus takes one or more wounds from an attack but is not destroyed, each player with one or more figure from their army on his basket glyph card may roll and may place, if they get a 13 or higher, they may place one figure from their army that is on Krampus in his basket, and you can place them within one space of Krampus or the nearest empty space. So you can't block it either. Like they get out if you get 13 or higher, no matter what. And that means if you're in a free for all and he takes a wound, and you have like one character from 3 different enemies in his basket, if he takes one wound, they all get to roll. And if any of them get 13 or higher, they release their, you know, hero or squad person. They get to choose if you have multiples as well. So if you have 5 of someone's guys, 4 squad figures and a hero, they can just be like, yeah, I want my hero out. Duh. Or if they really don't care about that hero, they'll just let their squad person out. And so he's not easily able to run up, grab a key figure, and retreat. It's just unlikely. Most of the time, he's going to be able to run up, steal a squad figure, attack somebody else, and just continue to do that. Then when he dies, they can come out later, but if you're pulling people off the board in the early game and your army's taking over the high ground then and where the glyphs are, then even if he dies later and people are slowly coming out, if you have that area mostly under your control, you have the better odds there. But will you have the hill? I don't know. Because Holodshot with this guy and one other, I mean, he gets his special and an attack. Anshu could get like 2 attacks. Holodshot can get 2 attacks, possibly. At the very most, you can get 5 attacks and his grab into the basket. So, even in the best case scenario, the person controlling this guy isn't gonna just probably take the hill over that easily, but you know, 5 attacks in a turn is nice. So either kill him so he can't do that, or kill Anshu really quick so that you lower their amount of attacks. I wouldn't go after Holodshot first, but if you're feeling really confident, you could go after Holodshot and then make the opponent put their actual individual turns on this guy and the other ones that bond with him. So he's not ridiculous, but you don't want to give your opponent an opening for this guy to grab your character and take all their abilities away. Essentially. So let's read about him in the lore. From the notes of Holodshot that we were just talking about. As I scour House Utgar's bestiary, I am once again drawn to the tales of the Krampus. Early reports from the beginning of Utgar's conquest of Valhalla attest to a hideous demon, proficient in abducting enemies and sealing them away into a magical wicker basket. These reports attest that he was unpredictable and that after enough incidents of brutalizing or disappearing his fellow summons, his beast was banished into Murkheim, never to see the light of day again. Official records of this basket-carrying snatcher have been purged from the Bleakwood Annals, and I found my fair share of passages from that time blotched or torn out entirely. Only an entry in the bestiary for a creature called the Krampus remained, describing incredible strength, sly cunning, and an incomprehensible sense of justice that drove it into battle and effective tool to use when controlling the beast. By the way, I mean, for Christmas battles, this guy and Halloween, he's gonna be like the perfect thing to play, and he's just gonna be fun. So that's really cool in itself. But back to this. Following eyewitness accounts and the name mentioned in the bestiary, I tracked down a lost tome, a book of children's tales from Phelan's Fifth Age, which speaks of a mythical creature also called the Krampus. This Krampus stalked the winter nights, observing elves, dwarves, and goblins as they prepared their various winter feasts and holidays. When the winter moon hit its zenith and the celebrations begin, the sound of the bells heralded his wicked judgment. That's when the moon's at its highest point, if you didn't know. Emerging from the dark and carrying a scourging bushel, he would beat naughty children, saying they must be cleansed of evil before they could partake in the holiday cheer. Those he deemed too naughty to cleanse, however, he stuffed into a basket, alleged to be a cursed gift from the unseelie fae of the winter moon itself. We heard about the seelie and the unseelie before. The unseelie must be the darker one, like the evil ones, I would say, probably. I assume. With reports of a similar creature terrorizing expeditions in the Citadel, I have put out a bounty for anyone in the New Alliance who can bring me this demon alive. If it truly is the Krampus, then it will be an invaluable weapon for my army of beasts. Yep, he'll definitely be super solid for Holodshot. Super duper solid. Let me know what you guys think about Krampus. It's definitely an interesting one for us. See you guys next time.